Hello and welcome to my dungeon, the new dungeon. It's a little bear, I know. It's a long story and I'm going to tell you it as best as I can. I'm going to try not to ramble, but no promises. It all started a long time ago. The last few months I have obviously been talking about, oh, I'm going to move. Oh, I'm going to move. My lease is up. It's time to move. I did it. I moved. Ta-da! Door's here. Before you ask, he loves the new place. He's having the time of his life because the whole place is made out of carpet and he has very sharp claws. You would think, I know your first thought is, oh, he's clawing the carpet. Yes, but it's actually not that bad. What he is doing though, he is using the carpet to dig his nails into so he can get like a boost to run as fast as he can across the apartment. I don't blame him because it does look fun to have that extra grip, but it's also like we have downstairs neighbors and I am concerned. I'm concerned that they're hearing a 15-pound cat go dum, 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 through the apartment. I went home for Christmas and when I came back, I immediately started, trying to make the moves. I tried to set up a time to get the lease handled and also this and that. So in preparation for this move, I started packing things that weren't all that necessary. Like I was packing, clothes that I don't really wear all that often, cosplay that I knew I wasn't gonna be taking pictures in, trinkets. I just started packing stuff that I knew I wasn't going to use. And then I had to start packing the other stuff, like all of my books and more clothes and maybe the shoes and also the purses. And then I was like, well, I don't want the movers to deal with my plushies, so I'll take the plushies over myself. So then I started doing trips back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And let me tell you something, gas isn't cheap. And it's very far and I am very tired and I have a lot of plushies, but I did my best. And then I decided, okay, now is the time to hire movers. So I booked the movers 2 weeks in advance and they had a ton of really good reviews and I was like, excellent. Packed everything up in boxes. I flipped all my furniture. I pushed it all to the side. So I had boxes and furniture all pushed to the side. And then 1 week before the movers got there, I got an email from the movers being like, this is how you properly pack a box. This is what you need to do before the movers show up, blah, 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 blah. And of course I'm like, well, who doesn't know how to move? Apparently a lot of people. But one thing I noticed specifically in the video was it was saying, okay, so have all your boxes on one side and have all the furniture on the other side. And I'm sitting there and I go, because I put all the boxes and the furniture together out of the way. I thought that was the right thing to do, right? Wrong. So I spent way too long taking everything apart, getting all the boxes, putting it up over here, and then put all the furniture over here. I went and got waters as well because in the video they had extra waters for the movers. And I was like, what, do they want waters? Do they want Coke? Do they want Gatorade? What could they possibly prefer? And I figured water was probably the safest bet. I was gonna have 3 men that were gonna move all the stuff. And I was like, oh, I really hope that's enough because I do have a lot, I think I have a lot of stuff. In the description of when I was hiring the movers, it was like, is there anything you want to tell us? And I was like, it's a 1-bedroom technically, but it could be a 2-bedroom because I do have an office nook. Like it's a tiny little corner. Possible 2-bed, it could be, it's a 1-bedroom officially, but I didn't want them to show up and be like, we can't take all this, They were supposed to get there from 9 to 10 a.m. They were gonna come first thing in the morning. It was gonna be great. And I woke up at 7 a.m. petrified. I was so nervous because I was like, I can't believe this is the day. Like I've been not looking forward to it, but I've been looking forward to it, but I've not been looking forward to it because I really love that unit. I've said it a million times. I really love that unit and it really sucks. Like, I'm excited to start this new journey in the new dungeon, but like, I really liked that old unit and everything in it felt very me. I get the call. Hey, is this Caitlin? I'm like, yeah, this is Caitlin. Oh, we're the movers. We're here. And I'm like, okay, excellent. I'm wearing, gear just in case I have to like help lift stuff because that's the last few times I've hired movers, they've gotten tired and they're like, hey, I'm gonna just leave these boxes by your front door. You can take it in. And I'm like, I go outside of the building to go get the movers and help them come into the building, explain the layout and everything. And as I'm walking up to them, I get the strong smell of, how do I word this? Skunk. And my first thought was, oh, great. Okay, maybe someone walked by, maybe that's why I smell skunk. That was not the case. Took them inside the building and everything and I still smelled skunk. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna judge, they're here to work and blah, 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 whatever. Maybe it'll be okay. It's not like they showed up drunk. If they showed up drunk, that would have been a little bit of a different issue, because you drunk, you can't really do anything. So I opened the door and I'm like, hey, so I saw in the video that you're supposed to put all the boxes on one side and all the furniture on the other side. And their faces lit up. They were like, you're already the best client we've ever had. And I was like, oh, stop. I was like, I just wanted to help, I wanted to make this efficient and easy for you guys. And I was like, however, I will warn you, I love books. I have a lot of books. And they're like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. I'm like, no, you need to listen. I have a lot of books. So I tried to make this as easy as I possibly could. And they're like, okay, great. We're gonna load all the boxes first and then we'll do all the furniture. I'm like, okay, great, thanks. So they start They start loading they were so fast. As they're carrying boxes, they're like talking, having a good time, playing music, chatting. And they're like, if you don't mind me asking, like, what do you like to do? And I was like, oh, I like to play video games. I'm like, is he asking like my hobbies? Like, oh, why do you have so many boxes? What are your hobbies? And I was thinking, well, I have lots of hobbies, but I have reading, obviously, that's why I have so many books. But then I'm like, no, he's just asking what to just say video games. Because that's like, if I think of all the things I love in life, video games is probably gonna be number one, you know? So I was like, oh, I play video games. And he goes, oh, nice. How's that works for a living? And I'm like, oh, he was asking what I do for work. And I was like, ooh. I mean, technically, though, not wrong, because I stream on Twitch. Why, there's a fly in here. How did you get in here? It's like a fruit fly. But I don't have any fruit. So then we started talking about video games. Oh, what do you play? And I was like, oh, I play, a lot of Overwatch, Baldur's Gate 3, Legend of Zelda, Minecraft. And he's like, oh, my son plays Minecraft. And there it is. Sorry, fruit fly. He's saying like, oh, my son plays Minecraft, but I used to play video games way back in the day, but I'm more of like a Sega, PlayStation 1 kind of. That was like my generation. I kind of look at him and I'm like, it's my I played PlayStation. That was my first. I played PlayStation 2. I didn't get to play Sega, but I played my first thing was PlayStation. And so like I played PlayStation. He goes, oh really? And I was like, yeah, I'm 32. And he goes, oh well yeah, I guess that is a part of your generation for gaming. You could have passed for like 22. And I was like, thanks. I felt like he was kind of like fibbing a little bit because like I think I look 32. I don't want to look 32 because there's such a stigma about looking older, but I feel like I look 30. I feel like I look 37, to be honest, but it's body dysmorphia for most of the time. Anyway, but then I get told a lot of the time, oh, you look like you're 28. I thought you were 29. Oh, I thought you were 25. And I'm like, oh, thanks, haha. Sometimes people get a little weird with the age. There was one time did I talk about this? I went to like a CVS or something, and I was checking out because I went to get disposable cameras for my birthday. And so I was checking out, and the guy's like, oh, what are these for? I was like, oh, it's for my birthday party. I want people to take pictures with them and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, cool. How old are you turning? I was like, oh, 32. And he's like, I thought you were 19. And I'm like, 19? Brother. Teen? Like as in a teenager. Teenager? 19? Like that? We're talking about games and he's, keeps loading up, and then all of a sudden they start getting ready for the furniture and they're wrapping the furniture and they're doing all the furniture stuff, and then they're just kind of chatting, being really friendly, and everything's all great and stuff. And I explain to them, hey, the bedroom, the only thing it has is a bed. I couldn't bring it out. Obviously, I'm 5'5.5". I can't do everything. I did though. Y'all can't see my chest of drawers. I have a really big chest of drawers. Technically I have 3, but the really, really big one is like bigger than my wingspan. And I carried that down my half steps into the living room. And so they were wrapping everything. Did you bring these down from the bedroom? And I was like, yeah, I did. And they all went. I took the drawers out beforehand because it did make it lighter. It was still hard and heavy, but like that's what she said. Taking out the drawers made it easier, but they were still like appalled. They packed everything up. They're like, hey, we're gonna go grab some food at like a 7-Eleven, and then we'll meet you at the new place. I was like, excellent. I packed my car with like my computer stuff and my fans, like some things that I didn't really want the movers to take. So I put that in my car and I drove all the way to the new apartment, and then get to the new apartment. I get there before them and they text me, hey, we're gonna be there in 10 minutes. I was like, cool. So I pick up my computer, go to the new apartment. Hey, we're here. I was like, hold on, I'll be right there. And I proceeded, which I didn't know this until 10 hours later, I stepped in dog poop because someone didn't clean up after their pooper. So I let them in and I showed them like, okay, here's the stairs, here's the elevator, let's go to my apartment, And I was like, hey, honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna set everything up, so just kind of put it in the apartment. If it says bedroom, put it in the bedroom. If it says bathroom, put it in the bathroom. If it doesn't have anything, put it in the living room. I was like, I'll figure it out later. They're like, okay. So they started loading everything and bringing it in and blah, 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 blah. And as they're doing that, one of the guys was like, hey, so can I ask a question? I was like, yeah. He goes, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I'm 32. And he goes, wow, you could pass for like 20 or 21. Like you barely look 21. And I'm like, all right, these guys are pulling my leg. Like there's no way. These guys have got to be pulling my leg, cause like I at this point, listen, I've been made fun of a lot of my life. And this includes the internet, but like the internet, then again, I don't really see internet, but like all throughout school, it kind of affected me to my core, to where like I look in the mirror and I'm like, ew. So bear with me. At first I was kind of like, are they pulling my leg? But I was like, no, I think they're serious. And I was like, oh, thank you. And I just kind of passed it off, and then he just left it, whatever. So they were bringing it in, and then one of them was like, oh yeah, so what do you like to do? And I was like, oh, I play video games. Like, oh, nice. What games are you playing? Oh, I like to play Baldur's Gate. I just played The Last of Us. It was really cool. I played this, I played that. Like, yeah, my son played. They all have kids. And I'm like, oh my God. They're still bringing in more stuff. They're like, hey, where does this go? Hey, where does this go? I'm like, just put it wherever you want to put it, buddy. It does not matter. So they're bringing stuff in, bringing stuff in, bringing stuff in. And they start bringing in the boxes. And then one guy had to start unwrapping like the TV and then the tables and stuff. So he's unwrapping one of the tables. This is the third guy, like, because the two already know my age. This is the third guy. So the third guy is like screwing on my table legs or something. I don't remember. But he goes, oh, so how long have you lived here? I was like, oh, like almost 12 years. And he goes, wow, that's a long time. Do you mind if I ask how old are you? And I'm like, okay. I was like, oh, I'm 32. And he goes, wow, that's crazy. You look like 21, 19. Like, you look like you could pass for any of those. And I was like, thank you. Like, it's so bizarre to me. Have y'all seen 21-year-olds? They're baby. Like, have you seen a picture of me at 21? I had like little chubby cheeks. And like now I'm leaned out because I'm 32 and I go to the gym 5 times a week. Besides the point. But I was like, oh, thank you. You know, my mom's jeans, I guess. And like, I just kind of, I literally said, oh, it's just my mom's jeans. Because it is. My mom has looked young her whole life too. But I was not expecting the next part. And so then he goes, yeah, you've got great jeans. You're very beautiful too. And I'm like, and so I was like, oh, thank you. And he goes, yeah, it's crazy you don't have a boyfriend. And then I'm like, I may have a boyfriend, but I guess it's because I didn't have said boyfriend with me moving, or like I didn't live with one, but I don't know if that was his way of trying to find out if I had one. So I was like, I have a boyfriend. I have a boyfriend. Yeah, I have one. He goes, oh yeah, that explains a lot. And I'm like, it was so bizarre because we were just talking about video games and then I kept getting asked my age and I'm like, why does my age matter? But apparently it mattered. I guess I don't know, man. It's just what if I was like 47? What if I was like, I'm 47? What if I just start saying that now? What if I don't ever tell my real age? What if I just say I'm 47? And then next year I'm gonna be 48. One thing what was weird, so they finished everything and they're like, okay, if you can sign these papers and then we'll go. And I'm like, okay, when I've had movers before, they've had me inspect the truck to make sure there's nothing left behind. They didn't do that. They didn't let me go down and inspect the truck. Not that I asked, but they brought out the paperwork and they're like, yeah, and you can tip here and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh God, because I hate when I was gonna tip anyway. They're very speedy. They're very helpful. Anytime they saw me carrying something from my car to the apartment, they're like, hey, wait, here, I can take it. And they take it from me and I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm gonna go get more stuff. They're like, wait, no. And then they're very nice, very helpful, very friendly, did a good job. Oh my God, it was really expensive. But you know, I didn't have to lift a finger. Like they didn't make me have to do anything. And it was very nice and it was very helpful. However, so they left and I'm like, oh my God, I did it. And I immediately start unpacking because I'm not someone that's like, oh, I'm going to take my time unpacking. No, I need stuff. I need to get everything figured out. I need to have everything set up. I have to do it. So after they left, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pack some stuff and then I'm gonna get Thor, get his food, his water, all this stuff. So I went and got him. He was a little spooked at first, but then he's like, oh wait, this is my bed. Oh wait, this is my couch. This is fine. So he did great. And then I decided, okay, so for the next couple days, I was going to start unpacking everything. And then I was gonna put like my desks in the office and I was gonna put my clothes in here. I was gonna do this and that. So I start shuffling everything. I'm moving boxes. I'm doing this and that. And I pick up one of my shelves. It's one of those like square shelves that you get, like it's from Target and you have like the cloth squares that you slide into the square. Do you know what I'm talking about? I put my cosplay in there. So I go to pick that up and I notice it's upside down. Weird. They must have just put it down. So I flip it over and there's a hole right on the top. And I look at it and I'm like, did I debate calling the company and being like, hey, this happened to my desk? And then because I saw that, I started looking around at other stuff and my computer desk has a big old chunk. That desk has gone through a lot. It does not look all that great. Didn't really care all too much. But the one square table, it looked like someone put an elbow through it. And I put my elbow in it to see if it would fit and it did. And I'm like, okay, so it looks like they used this to like lift up with their elbow and their elbow just went tong. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should, you know, tell the company. But then I was like, well, all of them have kids. What if they get fired over a $45 table? Like that would feel awful. I don't want to do that. And also too, like, I know they smelled like skunk plant, if you catch my drift. But like, you know, I don't want to do I tell the company that as well? They did a good job considering. And so I was like, So I ended up just not doing anything. I just took the L. I unpacked all of the boxes. It has been hell on earth trying to figure out what goes where I'm going to put this, where I'm going to put that, what I'm going to do with this, and how to get that. No, I have to go get this from the old apartment because I do still have stuff at the old apartment. I'm going to bring this over here. Oh, I have to go get this. I have to go get this from the store. I'm going to do this. Where am I going to put this? How am I going to hang this up? And then also below me is a baby, like a born baby. So I hear it crying sometimes. It's not that bad. It's not Bob bad. I really hope we stay in here for a really long time because let me tell you, this has been the most stressful move. I have moved a lot of times. This was by far the worst. This was so stressful and it sucked. I don't know if it's because I've accumulated a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's because I'm still like soul tied to that apartment. I don't know what it is. All I know is I'm tired and I don't want to do that again. But anyway, that is my story for you. We're gonna try to figure out more stuff to do for the dungeon, but I think this is the setup that I want, is having the bed here. The bedroom's kind of small. It's not as big as the other one. Thanks for listening to my yapping. I hope you have a fantastic day and safe travels. Okay, bye!